Hello and welcome again to another episode of the Long Gone Loser Rock Show. Wow. Today, I know I've talked about him on the show a few times, and this is no surprise, but last night I saw The Damned. Let's talk about it. So I've seen The Damned a bunch of times now. If you've seen my record review on the unboxing of the Live in London Glow in the Dark double LP, you'll know this already. But the first time that I ever saw The Damned was in 1997. I was drumming in a band and we got to open for them in Adelaide at the Tivoli Hotel with the band Feed Time as well. My mum went to that show. It was pretty cool. But anyway, that was the first time I'd ever seen The Damned live, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. They sounded fantastic. Like, they really did. They sounded incredible. And that was in 97. That was when Dave Vanian's wife, Patricia Morrison, who was also in the Bags and Legal Weapon and stuff, when she was in the band playing bass. And was it the drummer? Was it Jerry Dreadful? Was that his name? The drummer? If you watch that video, you can see that there's a signed poster and stuff like that in there as well. I've got a poster. It's rolled up now. I don't know where it is. I'm not going to go through them or looking for it for you. But you can see the poster in that video. I'll link that video at the end of this one so you can follow along should you want to do that and check that out. But anyway, The Damned. With The Damned, I have a lot of stuff on CD. And, you know, because I would always buy stuff if I could find it cheap. Now, in the 90s, when the CD boom was happening, used CDs were always around. So, you know, and stores would get inundated with tons of stuff. Now, this is before everything was considered rare and there was Discogs and, you know, the craziness of vinyl collecting, etc., was driving the prices of everything up. You could walk into Big Star Records in Rundle Street there and pick up a Damned CD used for $5, right? And so I got the Black Album on CD. I've got Strawberries on CD, and I've got the second album, Pleasure. You know what I'm talking about, Music with Pleasure. I've got those on CD. Do I have Phantasmagoria? I don't think I do have that one. I think that's the one album I don't have. I also don't have the one that's got the Vince Ray cover artwork. I have heard that, and that's great. But anyway, here is the stuff I've got. Now, you got to remember that when I was buying my own records and I discovered The Damned and all that sort of stuff, thanks to the young ones, the damn singles, I just could never find them. And when I did see them around, I'd look at them and they were always scratched to shit. Like, you know, they'd been thrashed and they sounded like crap, you know. So I don't have a lot of singles, but I do have the Eloise single, which is great because I fucking love this song. I love this song. I think this is one of the best Damn songs, and they played it last night. So, woo! Love it. And the B-side is Temptation. Now, that's the only 7-inch I've got that's not in a box set, and this is the box set I have of the Stiff singles, which is the first 5 singles, which is New Rose, Neat Neat Neat, Problem Child, Don't Cry Wolf, and Stretcher Case Baby. And I bought this box set super duper cheap. It reduced on Amazon to a ridiculously low price, and I grabbed it because it's like, well, I don't have any of those singles, and I love 45s. This box set dropped such a stupid amount of money so that it was virtually just giving it away, and the price of this whole box set was like the same as, you know, the price for a copy of, I don't know, one of the singles I used to see around. But anyway, it was well worth picking up. Now, when it comes to the LPs, we have my favorite Damned album of all time, which is Machine Gun Etiquette. I love this record. It is just fantastic from start to finish. Definitely my favorite. This one I bought off Jeremy from Caustic Soda when he was selling all his records because he was moving to Japan. It's basically a best of that has songs from everyone, including Lemmy, when Lemmy was in the band. But yeah, Eloise is on here, but you know, you've got all the hits. Smash It Up, you know, he's on here. Neat Neat Neat's on here. Plan 9 Channel 7's on here, which I played last night. And Love Song, New Rose, etc. Nasty, you know, it's all on here. It's a great compilation. If you don't want to buy every album, you know, because there's a lot, and you just want a best of, this is the best of you can get. The Eloise 12-inch, which has Beat Girl and Temptation on the flip side. Always a sucker for these these singles in the 12-inch EP format, because those grooves are always spaced apart, and they've got one song on a side, so it sounds nice and loud, and it's great. But yeah, Eloise, great song, as I've already said. Darkadelic, their latest album. This is a fantastic record. A huge fan of this record. I know it's not the first record or the third record, but it's still a great record. So they played Beware of the Clown and The Invisible Man last night. Stoked on that. And then obviously I reviewed this one, so you can go back and watch that. The glow-in-the-dark version of the, what is it called? Night of a Thousand Vampires live in London. I've got this Record Store Day thing here, which is Doom the Damned. It's like demos and stuff, which is pretty cool. So, and because it has songs from my favorite records by the Damned, I had to get them. Now, my favorite records, pretty obvious, is the first one, Damned, Love This, and Machine Gun Etiquette. Now, the show last night, wow. My favorite Australian band of all time, the Hard-Ons, got to open for them. And I remember, as soon as the tour got announced, I sat there and thought, man, I wish the Hard-Ons would open for that. That'd be amazing. Because I saw the Hard-Ons with the Ramones, and the feeling of seeing the Hard-Ons with the Damned just seems like such an amazing experience. That would be mad. And so I was like, oh fuck, I would love to see those two bands together. And then they announced a show tonight at the Tote, like the night after the Damned, and I immediately was like, they're playing with the Damned. And so I bought myself tickets for this, and it was all I could afford at the time. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't afford a ticket to the Damned at the time when they went on sale, and then it sold out. But thank you to Blackie and Ray for putting me on the guest list. I really appreciate that. I can't thank the band enough for giving me that option to still see them play with the UK's finest punk band. So the show itself, how do you top the best time you've ever seen the Damned? The first time I saw them in 97, I was blown away because I'd never seen them before. So immediately I was just like, holy shit, And then I saw them, numerous times over the years, but then seeing them at Punk Rock Bowling do Machine Gun Etiquette in its entirety, that was pretty special for me because I love that record so much. And to hear them play it from top to bottom, that was exciting. But last night's show, man, I don't know. Even though they didn't play Nasty, which is the one song I was hoping they were going to play, because I love that song so much, obviously seeing it in the Young Ones and stuff, but they didn't play it. But they did do a killer set list. The set list was fucking phenomenal. You can see the set list here. This is a photo that was taken last night after the show. I was standing outside with some friends, and we were talking about, just bands and music and stuff and whatever. And Ray from the Hard-Ons comes up to me and says, hey, Damo, you got in okay? And I said, yeah, man, thank you so much. And then gave me the set list. What a dude. That set list is now stuck by my front door. So when you walk in the front door, that's the first thing you see is the set list from last night. So as you can see, it was a killer set list. It really was. Neat. New Rose, Love Song, Second Time Around, or Machine Gun Etiquette, or whatever. It was just perfect. Eloise, obviously they played that. I love that song, and they played that. But the whole show, it flowed really well. They had a great set from start to finish. They chose great songs for this. It's not a rumor. They announced it as the last ever Australian tour. So if that was the last show, it was 2 hours long. If that was the last show that we get here in Melbourne, at least they went out on a bang, because that show was phenomenal. 10 out of 10 show, top shelf all the way. I do have some video footage. It's pretty shit, but you can see it because, why not? It's just a little memento of what was happening last night, and I want to share it with you all. So here is Melody Lee. The pit got kind of rough around that time. Like when that song started, when it kicked off, you know, obviously it starts with the piano and it's kind of mellow and stuff, but as soon as it kicked in, holy shit, that was just amazing. Like it really was. But yeah, man, what a night. Like I just couldn't believe how good they were. 2 hour long set. You know, they came on stage at 9:10, they finished at 11:10. It was at the Northgate Theatre here, which is a great venue. I like the Northgate Theatre. And the Hard-Ons, like, opening the show. Like, my favourite Australian band opening up for The Damned. That was pretty wild. You know, and they did a great set list too. The Hard-Ons just killed it. They just did a fucking amazing set list. They just powered through hits like Apartment for Two, Punk Police, She's a Dish. I was surprised to hear that. They pulled that one out. But then, you know, it was pre-produced by Captain Sensible. So if you are a Damned completist and you don't know that song, She's a Dish by the Hard-Ons, well, there you go. Go buy it. And, you know, what else did they play? Raining, Just Being With You. They even did the deep cut Growing Old. Growing Old, I would say, is one of my all-time favourite Hard-Ons tracks. And you never think you're going to hear it because it was tucked away on a B-side. It was a B-side to Just Being With You. And so I'm sitting there thinking, oh, you know, it's just a song you're never going to hear live. But when they fucking started it last night, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Like, it was so good to hear that song. You know, it is such a great tune. And I love it when the Hard-Ons, you know, they've got so many albums out, so many singles, but they still pull out a deep cut like that. And I'm just like, holy shit. Wow. You know, they're not just playing the same old hit set. They know people just want to hear, you know, people always just want to hear Suck and Swallow, or they just want to hear Girl in the Sweater and Where Did She Come From, or whatever. But, you know, they still pull out these deep cuts, and it's just like, no, we're gonna fucking play this. And yeah, it's so good, man. So good. And yeah, they played Backpack Sweat was another one they played. What else did they play? I didn't get the set list, which is really weird for me because I usually get every set list of the Hard-On shows after every gig because I like to have a memory of them. I've got like a stack of set lists like this of the Hard-On's gigs that I've been to, and I always like write notes on there, like if they didn't play a song or if they played more songs that weren't written in there, I'd always write on the back what the encores were and what date it was and the venue that they played. Ultimate nerdery, I know, but that's what I do. I do have a video coming, which is the entire discography of every single record and CD that I have of the Hard-Ons. It's not like as complete as like the guy who runs the Hard-Ons band Instagram. That guy has the most insane collection I've ever seen. But for a kid, you know, for most of his life, all he did was search out records by bands he liked and spend money on records and shows. I'm pretty happy with what I've accumulated because I truly believe they are the greatest Australian band ever. You know, there might be an asterisk near there because obviously AC/DC are always going to go without fail as being one of our greatest exports and whatever. And I do love AC/DC, of course, you know. And but yeah, man, just fuck me, the Hard-Ons are just amazing. So the Hard-Ons and the Damned, 10 out of 10 show. There's 2 more gigs left in Australia tonight. They're in Adelaide, and then after that they're in Perth, and that's it. And if this is the last tour like they advertised, thank you to all who played. Thank you to Captain Sensible, Dave Vanian, Paul Gray, Monty, and the one and only Rat Scabies on the drums. Thank you so much for coming to Melbourne and blowing the roof off the place. It was amazing, and yeah, it was the show we needed. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Long Gone Loser Rock Show. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, and go buy some records. And go see The Damned if you still can. Take care. Bye-bye.